everyone, and welcome back to my channel. That's it. I hope everyone is doing well. So it's almost Christmas Day. I hope everyone got their presents wrapped up or enjoying their relaxing upcoming Thanksgiving, Christmas Day. And we're going to get right to it. So I hope everyone is doing well, and thank you so much for joining in my live chat channel. So before I get started, you guys, I wanted to circle back of the video that I did yesterday, which will be posted next week, about Candace Owens, because this is the most angriest I have ever seen her, lashed out and basically cursing at Ben Shapiro. And I have to say, I understand her frustration because, a lot of us are in our breaking points. When people keep like poking the bear and keep, just keep pushing and pushing. And I said that sometimes, you have to react and you just can't take it anymore. And I thought about it, I prayed about it, and the Lord, came to me and said, you know what, Cheryl, we as Christians, as brothers and sisters, we always have to take the high road. We always have to be the bigger person, even though people tend to poke the bear towards us or at us. That excuse me, that we shouldn't allow people to take you out of your character. You know what I mean? That should not. It shouldn't happen. That's what I'm trying to say. We should not allow that to happen for anybody or any person to take us out of our character. It doesn't matter how upset we are, because God knows our character. He knows what's in us. And when somebody takes us out of our character, they already won. They took our energy. They took our they took our character. They won already. You know what I mean? And then they're going to say, you see, this is what this person is really all about, he or she. You took them out of they took you out of your character, and they're going to point out, you see, this is how she is. This is how he is. You know what I mean? When all reality, that's not who you are. That's not who you are as a person. And sometimes we definitely have to take the high road and be the bigger person, even though that is so tough to do. I'm guilty of it. There's times when someone pokes the bear at me, and all I want to do is react and lash out and tell them how I feel. And I have done that in the past. And now I'm better now, because before I was bad. I was really, really bad. I'm sorry, my dog is just sniffing me, making sure I smell good, right, Apollo? Anyhow, but in the past I was bad. I was worse. You know what I mean? I always lash out. I always tell people, what they think about themselves. And now when people tend to poke the bear at me, I just pray, and I pray for that person, and I just walk away, because I don't want anyone to see my reaction or have people see my my character. If I'm going to lash out, I'd rather do it with tell my husband about it, tell my friends, tell somebody, instead of telling that particular person. Because once you show your character to that person that kept poking the bear at you, they're going to say, okay, I won. I know how to push this person's buttons, and I'm going to continue pushing that button. And that's what they want. They want that reaction from you, so they can tell other people, see how this person's acting? You see how this person's behaving? And you said this person was just, humble Christian or whatever. And that's what I wanted to say. I'm like, we always have to be the bigger person, not to react when someone tends to get us upset or poke the bear. And we just need to calm down, read our Bible, pray, and just walk away and let God take care of it. Let God handle that situation. But anyway, I wanted to start right to it about the conspiracy theory of Charlie Kirk. A lot of people are thinking and believing that he's still alive. He's still alive, that what happened on 9/10 was fake. It was staged. And to be honest with you, I don't know what to believe. I know what I saw, what the whole world saw, that Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck, but a lot of people believe that he is still alive because of people, the way that people are behaving and acting. They're not acting like a grieving person. They're just acting like nothing happened. Like they're just moving on with their life, with Turning Point, and they're just not acting like a grieving person. You know what I mean? A lot of people are saying that, and you know what? Who can blame them? You know what I mean? Like, who can blame them? Like, a lot of people are hoping and believing that is Charlie Kirk really alive? Is he alive somewhere out there? And I don't think none of these people are crazy. You know what I mean? You have to have actual proof to back up your theory. You know, I'm not one of those conspiracy theorists, but I don't blame them, because it's sad, because those people are saying that he's alive. They're not crazy. They actually are reacting to a lack of emotion that people are presenting. You know what I mean? When people present a lack of emotion that Charlie Kirk is still alive, he hasn't been buried yet. It's been 3 months. There's no burial. The way that people are behaving, the death certificate, the autopsy. I have so many questions. Okay, no ballistic report. There wasn't a crime scene investigated. There was no paramedics on site. What else? There was no police, swarming around right after. There was a plane that left 30 minutes right after that 20 away from the venue. People were saying that that his death was fake, and the feds probably faked his death. And the real question is why? Why is that? And what really struck me, and I went back and listened to the video of Kash Patel, and he stated, "Rest now, brother. I'll see you in Valhalla." And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't know what he meant by that, Valhalla. And then most people will say, "I will see you in heaven. I will see you soon, my brother, my sister." But when he said that, "Rest, my brother, I will see you in Valhalla," I don't know, something sticked out to me, like, what does he mean by that? And I went and I looked up, I typed in Valhalla in Google, and it says here, Valhalla is a witness protection, likely referred to a fictional concept, possible a secret government facility for the United States Witness Security Program, called WITSCE, which stands for Witness Security Program. And a lot of people are speculating that Charlie Kirk is there. He is in a witness protection, because that's why a lot of people are just acting weird, like he's still alive. He's not dead. A lot of people are not acting like people are grieving. It's just a lot of people saying it's weird. So I'm gonna let you listen to what Kash Patel said when he was in Utah, making that comment. And also I'm going to show you a couple of videos of people from TikTok of this conspiracy theory, that why they believe that Charlie Kirk is still alive, and how it's all fake and staged, and it's basically one big cover up. And then we can discuss it from there. So here we go.
Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
I see you, Valhalla. Weird, right? Weird, very strange. And now it confirms what he meant by Valhalla. Valhalla is a witness protection facility that's run by the government. Go figure, right? So I'm gonna pull up this video and take a listen to what this gentleman had to say. And I believe his name is Jesse. He's from TikTok. And he's going to tell you this whole conspiracy theory, how he believed that Charlie Kirk is still alive. So let's take a listen.
Valhalla here. So, what are we looking at right there? Right? Take a good, hard look at that map, because that's what it is right there. Okay. Valhalla Danish House. Okay. Witness security program. And you check this out. Since 1971, more than 19,000 people, WITSEC.
Pull that up for you guys. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me pull it up, because I want you to read I want to pull up what I just read. And let me just pull this up. There we go. And pull him back up. If
Official figures state that no participant who's followed the program.
Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to maneuver and try to figure this out how I can do both at the same time, but it seemed like it's not letting me. So let's just try this again. Let's see. Okay. So I'm gonna add him up
As a
again.
result of their cooperation,
Not
which
working.
makes sense
Sorry,
for
guys.
WITSEC. Okay, so I saw that. I'm like, okay, why would Charlie Kirk need a new identity and to go to WITSEC? Answer would be if he is potentially testifying against a large criminal organization that he needs protection from. And here's the thing. If you're Charlie Kirk, you can't just go into WITSEC. You have to die, right? Like, you have to, like, you can't just be like, oh, Charlie Kirk has vanished. He's vanished, you guys. Like, if he's going into WITSEC, the world needs to think he's dead. That is the only way that you could pull it off. I'm just saying, if that is what happened, which I'm not saying for sure it did. However, it would answer every single question about everybody's behavior at TP.
You know, I have to say what Jesse's saying is true. You know what I mean? This is, you know, the feds can pull off anything. You know, the feds can make people disappear, have new identities, make them make it seem like, you know, that Charlie Kirk is dead. And again, I don't know. You know what I mean? I have no idea, but it's something to think about. It's something to think about and wonder. You know what I mean? Because of the behaviors that people are behaving, the Turning Points, Erica, a little bit Candace Owens. You know what I mean? Again, I don't know if this is true, but it may be a possibility. It may be a possibility, especially, you know, what he just read on Google, WICSAT, you know, about this witness security program. And it says the purpose of it is witness their claim for retaliation for testifying against dangerous criminals. And like I said, you know, when Charlie texts someone in a group chat, when he mentioned that they are trying to kill me, we don't know who they is or they was, you know what I mean? This is a perfect program for him, you know what I mean? If that's the case, if this is really true or not. But again, I don't know. This is all conspiracy theories. This is all speculation. But is it a possibility? I would say 100% is a possibility that this may have happened.
USA, which just seems so bizarre. And but check this out, right? So that was in New Zealand, right? That's a map of New Zealand where the Valhalla place is, right? And check this out. New Zealand government and the U.S. Embassy confirmed in late July 2025 that the FBI established a, quote, dedicated law enforcement attaché office located at the U.S. Embassy in Wellington, headed by a permanent legal attaché. This is described as the FBI's first standalone office in New Zealand, replacing an arrangement where FBI personnel in Wellington reported through the legal office in Canberra, Australia. So, purpose is stated role. Officials from both countries say the office is intended to deepen cooperation in transnational organized crime, counterterrorism, cybercrime, espionage, child exploitation within the broader Five Eyes intelligence partnership. Wellington Legal Office is expected to coordinate with FBI engagement across parts of the wider Pacific region, including nearby islands, states, and Antarctica. Okay. So, I mean, I'm just saying, right? And then there is
Kash
Patel in New Zealand finalizing that deal. You know, I'm just saying. Just saying, if you need a why, there you go.
Right. Pause. So Julia Collins 77 comment. Charlie said Nicki Minaj isn't a good role model for girls, but in the GOP, if a celebrity publicizes support a felon who was found liable for sexual abuse, they instantly become a great role model. Yeah, I have to agree with you, Julia. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why Nicki Minaj was at NFest, to be honest with you. I don't know why Ben Shapiro was there either, but I have no idea. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. But thank you for your comment. I really appreciate it.
There's your why. Now I wonder if the actual reason that Erica and Candace were going to meet in person is because Erica's like, okay, look, okay, listen, You have done such an incredible job here that we are going to have to bring you into the fold because you're killing us. You're killing us.
Isn't that crazy? That could be possible. You know what I mean? That could be possible. That's why employees from Turning Point are acting weird. I wouldn't say Erica acting weird until she did her press tour to promote her husband's book. Then she was just acting weird. But other than that, in the beginning, she was, a grieving widow. So is that possible that, Erica Poole, did that meeting privately and told Candace Owens, like, this is what happened. This is what it is. You have to slow down your rhetoric and not go too far. You know what I mean? You gotta slow it down. But the thing is, that's a big if. That's a big question mark, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Is it possible? Yes. Maybe that's why she wanted that private meeting. That's why she didn't want to do it in person because, Candace Owens, she's smart. When she figures something out, she will figure it and crack it down. You know what I mean? And blow this thing out of the water. And maybe Erica Kirk and people that were involved in the faking Charlie Kirk's death, they don't want things to be exposed, and then it was just trying to shut her up. I don't know. It's a lot of if, it's a lot of possibility. Again, we don't know the full extent of that private meeting on that 15. But like I told you in my previous video, when Candace Owens came back the next day, she was not herself. The energy was off. To be honest with you, I don't know if she was trying to process everything that was said in that 4-hour meeting. And then the next day, then she was kind of like herself. So I don't know. I don't want to speculate because I don't have concrete evidence or proof. I just don't know. But again, like I read, there's no death certificate. There was no autopsy. There was an autopsy, but nothing discussed at an autopsy, meaning that was it a 30-06 or was it a smaller weapon that killed Charlie Kirk? No ballistic report. Again, they didn't investigate the crime scene. They paid that area right away. 1, 2, 3, like it didn't exist. 1, 2, 3. So I don't know.
Okay. I have a phone call for you here. Candace. It's Charlie. Can you imagine, dude? I would do any,
oh my gosh. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't even imagine that. But if what he's saying, and he's just speculating here, but can you imagine if Charlie called Candace Owens and say, I'm in a witness protection vote? I don't know. I just don't want to think of it because we all saw what we saw, that he got shot and he died. You know what I mean? I just don't know. But a lot of people are believing that he is still alive. He's still alive, but there's no concrete proof to back that theory up.
It's like factually accurate or anything. But I was like, can you imagine being a fly on the wall to Candace's face if that is exactly what happened? That'd be hilarious. Now, I am finishing this recording right now, and now she's about to actually go live in a few minutes. But we are going to now get into the actual nuts and bolts.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to show you another video of another particular person from TikTok believes that Charlie Kirk is alive. So take a listen to what he has to say. Oops, let's go.
All starting to believe that Charlie Kirk is still alive because it's the only logical explanation that makes sense. Why would Candace be so happy after meeting with Erica Kirk? It's not like Erica Kirk revealed something meaningful to her about the investigation or why she thinks that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk that's making Candace feel comfortable and happy now, because she still doesn't think it's Tyler Robinson, right? The only thing that makes sense is that Charlie's alive. The whole thing was staged. It was all bullshit. Charlie never died. That's why there were no police, no ambulances, not a real investigation, nothing. The whole reason that Erica Kirk is like, can we please just keep his body? Is it so weird that we haven't buried him over a month?
Pause. Again, even Milo mentioned this in Tim Pool's podcast show, that he knows an actual fact, and I don't know how he knows this, but he absolutely is positively sure that Charlie Kirk has not been buried yet. And it's been 3 months. And I'm thinking to myself, what is she doing with the body? You know what I mean? Is she putting the body on ice? Is she preserving the body? what is she doing with the body? It's been 3 months. Now I understand that she wants privacy. She don't want people to know where the cemetery is. But 3 months? Isn't that weird to you? I can't even imagine holding a body for 3 months. Not even a week. You know what I mean? Like, the autopsy is done, so why she's not burying her husband? You know what I mean? That's a red flag. I don't know about you guys. Let me know. Drop it in the comment. Let me know what you think, because that's very odd, don't you think? 3 months and Charlie Kirk has not been buried yet, and she said that she's waiting to build this whole this thing for him. Like, it doesn't take that long, I don't think, because it took 7 days for them to do that that Charlie Kirk memorial, which actually it would take a few months to do, months of preparation, but it took them like at least 7 days to do that really quick. So again, that doesn't make any sense to me, because if they can pull that off, the Charlie Kirk memorial, in 7 days, why they can't do the same thing for his burial? Again, something's not adding up, and something is very off to me.
It's crazy weird, but it's not weird if he's alive. None of this is weird if Charlie Kirk is alive. All of this makes sense. Everything makes sense if Charlie Kirk is alive and was the flight out of Utah that Charlie was on.
And that's what I mentioned, pause, because there was a plane that left 30 minutes right after 20, I can't even read my own notes. It's not even making any sense. Left 30 minutes after 20 away from the 20. The plane was 20 minutes away from the venue. Okay, and I remember distinctly when Candace Owens said that the doctor mentioned that Charlie Kirk had a pulse. It was very weak, but he had a pulse when he arrived to the hospital. Could it be possible? And I'm just throwing it out there, and please drop it in the comments and let me know. Is it possible that, because the feds were there right away, which that's very odd and very strange that they will go right to the hospital instead of going to the crime scene to investigate what happened in that event that happened towards Charlie Kirk. They didn't collect any ballistics, they didn't do anything, but they went straight to the hospital. Then they didn't want the surgeon to go back into to the room to clean Charlie Kirk up so Erica can see him, so he can look presentable. The surgeon had to call someone from DC, someone higher up, in order for that surgeon to get back into that operating room or whatever to clean Charlie Kirk and to remove the footage. Why is that? Again, a lot of questions that I'm asking that I need answers to, because none of it makes any sense. None of it makes sense. So is it possible that all of this could have been staged? Is it? Because if it was a 30-6 that shot Charlie, his head would have been blown off. His head would have been gone. He would have been unrecognizable. You know what I mean? So obviously it was a smaller weapon that shot Charlie. Again, I'm not an expert on guns. I'm going to be very clear. I'm not. However, by listening to people who are experts, military men who are expert on guns and ballistics and bullets, they're saying that it wasn't a 30-06. They're saying it was something else. Okay, and they showed many examples of that.
Then it all makes sense. Then everything is just one big hoax, one big spectacle, and we don't have to think the worst of everyone, because Charlie Kirk is actually alive, and this is just a political stunt. And then you got to ask yourself, well, why would they want to fake Charlie Kirk's death? Maybe Charlie Kirk was under a real threat. Maybe Israel was threatening Charlie Kirk's life, which I think Andrew Povett admitted to when he said it was supposed to be you, not Charlie Kirk. And Candace is under threat as well. But they faked Charlie Kirk's death so that Israel would be like, oh, okay, well, I guess somebody else caught him. And that's why Israel came out and was like, it wasn't us. It wasn't us.
That is true. That is true. Because I thought that was very strange that Prime Minister Bibi just went up to Fox News and it wasn't me. I wasn't involved. And everyone was like, what the hell is he talking about? What is he doing? No one's not even pointing to you, because it was just right away when Charlie Kirk got shot. We didn't know anything. We didn't suspect anything. We didn't even suspect Israel was involved. And he was the first person to come up and broadcast that he didn't have nothing to do with it. So to me, you look suspicious, because why would you do that? You just made yourself look guilty, my guy. You know what I mean? So he is correct, and it just looks very suspicious when Bibi did that. You know what I mean? So obviously, Israel has some type of involvement, because they were threatening him, making him feel uncomfortable, and maybe that's why they try to fake this death. I don't know. I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this was all staged to protect Charlie Kirk from the real person that's trying to kill him. I don't know about this, but it seems like these people that you watching right now actually believe that Charlie Kirk is still alive.
Guys, so excited, because it wasn't them. It was our government protecting somebody who was speaking out against Israel, because he messed up. He didn't follow the technique of Trump. Yes, we do everything Israel wants. Stand up, Miriam Adelson. Stand up. I want everyone to see the person who thinks that Israel is more important than America. Trump is drawing as much attention to this as possible. And the only logical explanation for him being so conspicuous with this Israel propaganda is so that it works, because he can't. Remember, he's under threat. I told you like a year ago when he first got elected, and he didn't do anything he campaigned on, none of it. I was like, oh shit, Trump is terrified of Israel. He is scared of Israel. And for good reason. They're the ones with the secret nukes. No one else gets to have secret nukes.
Also, they know so much dirty secret, probably against Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, among other politician men. That's why they don't do anything. That's why they don't give Israel pushback, because they know so much. Israel knows so many dirty little secrets. Not going to say dirty little secrets, big secrets of the government. That's why they don't push back. That's why they don't do anything at all. They're not protecting the American people. They're rather protect them instead of us.
But Israel, they could already be here. Trump is under serious threat. Serious threat. And so is our country. And he knows that. I'm not saying that Trump is a good person, or Candace is, or Erica Kirk is. None of that matters. These are just actors in state affairs. These are actors in the balance of power of the world. But Erica Kirk knew if she got on that private jet, we were going to know she went to Candace Owens. Erica Kirk knew that if we found out she went to Candace Owens and didn't tell us, it would be a major problem. So they made this announcement that they were going to meet up, and then they act like they just talked about the case. But Erica Kirk needed to tell Candace Owens something off the record that nobody else could hear.
Now, that's the second person that said that. The second person, the first clip that I show you of Jesse, he said exactly the same thing with this meeting on December 15th. Now, this gentleman said exactly the same thing. Is it possible? It can be. That's why I wish I was a fly on the wall. Just to eavesdrop and listen to that conversation that they had in that hotel in Nashville. I just wish. And the thing is that Candace, she forgot to mention, she said it too, that she didn't even ask Erica about the autopsy report, because that would confirm which bullet shot Charlie Kirk. Was it a 30-06? Which gun? You know what I mean? She didn't ask that question. I'm thinking, why she didn't ask that important question? That is so major. That is very detailed to ask that question. Do you have the autopsy report? May I have a copy of it? You know what I mean? Maybe she doesn't have to share everything, but at least you know which bullet that killed him. But she didn't ask that question, which I thought it was very odd. And I forgot to point it out in my other video, but I just want to mention it here. And please let me know what you think about that. So drop it in the comment and let me know. But I thought that was very odd to me that Candace did not ask Erica about the autopsy report.
That there was absolutely no chance that anybody could get this information. She's been welcomed into the club. So on that basis alone, she's happy, and she's not going to ever say anything bad about Erica Kirk, although there's plenty to criticize about Erica Kirk. Plenty. But she won't do it because she's on the inside now.
See, that's the thing I don't understand when he said that, because Candace Owens brought Mitch, on her show, the former military guy. And I don't know. That's the thing. Like, if she's playing this off, if this is even a speck of truth, you know what I mean, which we don't know. There's no concrete proof what he's saying is true or not. It's all speculation. But if that's really true, Okay, and Candace Owens not giving pushback. But then why have Mitch on her show? Why Mitch described that he saw Erica? Why did Mitch describe that he saw Brian Hartpole? And he was 95, 99% absolutely sure that he saw Erica Kirk and Brian Hartpole and on another. I don't know. I don't know unless Candace Owens trying to expose other people. But again, if that was the case and if Candace Owens was not giving pushback, then she wouldn't have Mitch on her show. Mitch wouldn't expose himself because he's in danger too by releasing and telling his story about what he saw at Fort Huachuca. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm iffy about what he just said about that.
And that's why she didn't get any questions answered. She got let in on what's really happening here. So that's why I'm so angry about Candace coming onto the show and being like, hey, we got some things answered, but tune in tomorrow when I tell you that the Egyptian planes went to Israel. Because she's pretending like everything's perfectly normal, but something incredibly dramatic has just happened that Erica Kirk had to fly and meet in person and talk to her. You only do that if you need to convey threat.
Well, the reason why, see, I have to what I was going to say, I have to push back on that. I think the reason why Erica Kirk flew there because, she wanted to lower the temperature because the temperature was getting real hot. And also, Candace Owens even said it on her show that people should not donate to Turning Point USA. That's the reason why she went over there, okay? Because a lot of people listen to Candace Owens, okay? And a lot of people don't like what Turning Point is doing or how they're behaving and how they're acting. So when Candace Owens told a lot of people not to donate to Turning Point, because a lot of people in the Turning Point organization, their behavior looks suspicious. They're not acting right. They're not answering basic questions. So that kind of terrified Erica Kirk, and maybe that's why Erica Kirk flew over there too as well, and also figure out what's in Candace Owens' head. And that's what she was afraid of. But my thing is, she's more concerned about the donors instead of more of the investigation of her husband, who killed him, excuse me. That's just weird to me. That looks sus to me, okay? Like, you're more concerned about the donors than concerned about who killed your husband, who assassinated him on 9/10. That just, money's more important. I don't know. That's just weird to me in my eyes, okay? So I have to debunk that, what he said, because that's not necessarily true. The only reason she flew over there because she just wanted to lower the temperature and get some type of information what Candace Owens has and vice versa.
Where you need to include a major secret. And Candace Owens is in on that conspiracy now. She is now a member of that club. And it was very funny for her to come out and mock all of us with her, little Yiddish thing that she was doing. Ha ha ha, oh my God, you guys are so funny. You guys are going to be the reason that they take TikTok from us. No, Candace. We're not the reason they're going to take TikTok from us because we're just so crazy. The public are the ones who are honest enough to tell the truth. And you used to be a member of the public. Remember, it was Candace and her whole investigative team.
She's still investigating. She's still telling the truth. I just feel like she held back on certain things. That's the energy that I got when she came back and was telling her audience and everyone of the meeting of Erica Kirk. I feel like her energy was off. I even mentioned that to my husband. But she's still investigating. I don't feel like she got paid off or Couture, one of those people paid her. You know what I mean? Like, she can't be bought. You know what I mean? So I have to debunk that too. But again, I don't know. I just believe that Candace Owens is doing her investigation. She's trying to figure out, we don't know what Erica Kirk told her. We don't know if she actually told her that Charlie Kirk is alive. And again, I don't know. I just don't know. I can't say yes. I can't say no. I don't know what to believe because I know what I saw on 9/10. That's something that cannot be unseen. You know what I mean? That he got a bullet in his throat and he went back and blood was gushing out. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are saying that, which another video I'm going to show you, which is very long. And it's Luke from TikTok. And he explains how every detail, what happened in that whole scene. Let me see. explain how they faked Charlie's after the bang. It's a sign of brain damage, then his head bang against the ground. I'm going to explain that to you. Well, I'm not going to explain to you. Luke is going to explain that to you in the video that I'm going to show you. Referral maxing. So thank you for commenting and posting that, because I thought, I agree with you. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that someone can survive that. There's no way. But it seemed like these people, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to call them crazy, because they are very hopeful that Charlie Kirk is alive and he's out there in a witness protection. You know what I mean? At the same token, people are just not acting right. They're not acting like he is dead. You know what I mean? They're acting like he's much alive, and which Luke is going to explain to you detail in detail. So hold on, and then I will show you that video. I just want to finish what this gentleman had to say about the whole conspiracy of Charlie Kirk still alive.
The public, now suddenly you're elite and you guys are crazy, and you're going to gaslight us and tell us that we're crazy for realizing that you are now literally part of the conspiracy. Like, literally conspiring privately with the most powerful woman in...
Listen, I disagree with that. We don't know. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. We don't know. We don't know if Candace Owens conspiring with Erica Kirk. We don't know. But I can honestly say, by looking back and looking all the footage of the day that Charlie Kirk got assassinated, and reading my notes and looking and watching Cash Patel, that he made that comment. Let me read it back to you. Rest now, brother. I will see you in Valhalla. To me, that's just weird. At first, like I said in the beginning of this video, I didn't think nothing of it. But then when he said that, and I looked it up, what Valhalla, it's a witness protection. Why would anyone say that? Usually a normal person would say, I will see you soon, my brother. I will see you in heaven soon. But he referenced that, which I thought was very weird. Now I'm going to show you this video of Luke, of his conspiracy, how he believed that Charlie Kirk is still alive, how everything was staged. Now, by you listening to him, you would think that he sounds crazy, okay? But I don't think he's crazy. I think what he's saying makes logical sense. But again, I don't have proof to back up what he is saying. But a lot of the things that he's saying makes sense to me. And a lot of people are going to look at this, well, he sounds crazy. He don't know what he's talking about. But, you know, sometimes you can't just discard people what they're saying, because half the time what they're saying is probably actually true in their mind. But I tend to, you know, be open-minded and hear what anybody have to say. So take a listen to what Luke had to say about the whole conspiracy of Charlie Kirk and how he believes that Charlie Kirk is still alive and the feds and everyone is staging this. Take a listen.
I don't think Charlie Kirk's dead. I think that's all a hoax as well. Okay. We're all concerned about the emotions of the people that were close to him. And why is Candace showing the most emotion when it comes to the reality of this kind of situation? I think people that don't even know him are mourning more than the people that knew him. Okay?
Agreed.
I truly don't believe those people are that heartless that they wouldn't show emotion. The human body, I don't care if Erica was acting the whole time with his marriage, with their marriage. I don't care. You're still going to have some sort of emotion, even if you betrayed somebody. You can't be that heartless. Even Trump, he can't be that heartless. All the people at Turning Point can't be that heartless. Okay? They have to have the emotion of a friend who passed. Whether you like them or not, you still would have remorse. You still would be in shock. Okay? So
Agreed.
I'm not buying it. So what I'm not buying is they're not sad. So he's not gone. Okay? Why are they letting Candace run with this? Because she didn't know the inner circle talk to what was happening. Okay? So that's why.
Pause. Luke, do you think maybe because of that meeting that Erica Kirk went to and what? Please drop it in a comment, because now that he's mentioning that, maybe, I don't know, I'm just thinking, because I like to, sometimes I overthink. Maybe when Mitch saw Erica Kirk and Brian Hartpole, even though I don't believe anything that man says, because he's just a liar, maybe they were planning or staging his death. I don't know. Because why would Erica Kirk be there? Why would he? Why would she be at Fort Huachuca? You know what I mean? And then he's mentioning this. Like, why would she be there? And Brian Hartpool and other people. I don't know. It just sounds very crazy to me, and I don't want to be in that rabbit hole and having my brain go nuts and crazy thinking about this whole thing. Simple. They are that heartless. Most of them are undercover agents. I agree. Very heartless and undercover agent. I agree.
She's having that emotion because she believes this is just like we all are, like he could be gone or he is gone. I don't think he is gone because their emotions aren't showing me that. Okay? They're almost like if you only knew. But we can't say because the agenda we're playing out right now. So I want to take this turn on it. Okay? What if, I'm not saying this is it, and I don't want to give them the grace here, but I'm just going to give it for a second for a thought for everybody. What if they're protecting their friend? Okay, what if TikTok, okay, they tried to put me on a plane, okay, me, just a mere person that's speaking on here, okay, they wanted to get me somewhere, clearly, okay, tried very hard for months, I think are even still trying with a lot of these people that are reaching out to me. I'm just not reaching back out because now I'm like, okay, I can't trust nobody on here now. Okay, they were paying people $7,000 to do things. So
what he's referring to is people from Israel paying these influencers to say things about Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, about other people. I heard of that because some of these influencers that I saw on TikTok, they say exactly the same thing over and over and over again. You know what I mean? It's like a repeat. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why are they saying the same thing about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson? It's just crazy. And come to my knowledge that they were being paid $7,000 just to say whatever they want to say. Isn't that crazy? $7,000. People just are just willing to get paid and say whatever they want, to sell their souls to the devil. It's absolutely disgusting.
Oh, sorry, my mom was calling me. Okay, so they were paying people a lot of money to do things, to post propaganda, basically supporting us.
Yes,
Yay.
propaganda.
What if? Okay, because we now know Mikey McCoy and the pastor dad, okay, are a part of this. Back when Erica first gave her first speech, right after it all happened, and she was in his office, and she did that first speech, I made a TikTok about this, but they banned my other account because there was too much information on there. The way she said his name was very flirtatious, giving vibes of, wait a minute, like, who are you loyal to here? And I said that in my video. And then now we're all seeing, wait, who's this Mikey? I kind of saw the same thing a while ago. So what if the father got contacted? Hey, how about $2 million if you can do something for me? Now, okay, if somebody believes in TikTok, okay, and they believe in that religion, okay, they're going to be like, yeah, of course, because you're Elohim, you're God. So if you're supporting God, then of course I would have to do this for God. What are they trying to do right now with pastors? Make you feel guilty because Scripture says this. Scripture says this. So what was Charlie doing at the very end? Speaking up against something that he was for a second, and then now it's like, wait a minute. What are you guys doing here? I'm not for that at all. I'm for my land. No, yeah, that's something special, but I want to protect this. Zip him. He's not going to shut his mouth clearly, so we need to get him out of here. So let me contact head of chief of staff. Oh, his dad's a pastor. Okay, that's good. Let's call his dad because the kid's kind of young. He might slip. Dad's older. 50, 60-year-old men are hiding so many secrets.
And he's right about that because I remember what Candace Owens mentioned about Rob McCoy, the pastor. He used to be in the military. Okay, that's what they do. You know what I mean? So he knows the inside and out of military. You know what I mean? Obviously, they wouldn't let his son do it, Mikey McCoy, because he's young, and he just like that gentleman said, Mikey probably would have slipped up. So obviously, Rob McCoy would be the right person to do this because he has military background experience.
So many deep dark secrets, they'll be fine adding another one for cash. People will do anything for cash.
Yes.
Okay, especially if they're struggling. Okay, So, and even if they're not struggling, even if they have a lot, everybody wants a bigger zero number. Give me more zeros so I can feel more of a man. So when we're around my network, I can say, I have this many zeros. I have this many zeros. That's what's going on right now within the elite groups. I have so many zeros, so I am the man. Has nothing to do with being a man at all. But that's the way society believes. So the dad's like, of course I'm going to do this because I'm helping out God, okay? And then I'm going to protect him as well. So he's a child. Charlie's a child. He doesn't know better. I'm the pastor. It's been leading for years. I help. I was one of the founders of Turning Point, which is bullshit.
Right.
So that I'll do the right thing here. I'm going to protect my brother, and I'm also going to serve God. So let's develop this plan to kidnap Charlie Kirk. Okay? Has TikTok held people hostage before and having no care in the world about it? Yes. Did TikTok just all of a sudden go against a deal that was supposed to be made? How many days later? Yes. So would they do shady things to get what they want? Yes. You guys don't realize I was married to one of these people. Okay. My in-laws were these people. They will do everything in their power and burn anybody. And I've watched them burn so many relationships, just the ones that I was within marriage, that I realized the heritage is really about being cold-hearted, and I will do whatever it takes to get what I want. Why can't I see my kids for 3 years? Because they're those kinds of people. They're cold-hearted people, and they will cover up their lies, and their pride is so thick they're never wrong. Never, ever wrong. Never made a mistake. It's always somebody else. You did this to me. See, Hamas, they did this. No, you guys are pressing the buttons. You guys are doing your own things. So I'm going to stand up for myself. But when I stand up for myself, you're a threat now. No, you were the threat. I'm just defending myself now. So those people will do whatever it takes to hide their dirty little secrets. We know how many dirty little secrets TikTok has for years. Years. Okay? They've been running a lot of industries. Now they're being all proud and boastful, saying, we own this, we really own that, and you guys didn't realize. Basically want to put fear in us, like, we've been watching you too. We've always been watching you, and you didn't know.
No,
Trying to be like all cocky and evil.
Send me the
Very
link, I definitely
you
check it
can't
out.
say this is anti. No, it's not. That's the thing, is now they have a word that we can't say, a specific word. I can't talk about you. The control, just like Mike.
Well, TikTok is dead. I've been saying that to a lot of people. Okay, you can't say certain words. You can't say murder, rape, killing. You can't say none of that because TikTok is being controlled by Israel. Okay, because there's no free speech anymore in TikTok. Okay, TikTok is dead. I agree with him on that part. You can't say certain things, and if you do say or criticize of Israel and what they're doing, or anything in that particular matter, Jeffrey Epstein, they will ban your account because they did it to me. They took one of my account and they deleted it because I was against Israel and Jeffrey Epstein, and they got rid of it. And that's why I said, you know what, forget TikTok. I don't need TikTok because TikTok is dead, and Israel took that social media over.
Court stuff. I can't go on here and talk about my own children, they say to me.
Okay.
They literally wrote saying, you cannot talk about your own kids. I have rights to my kids still. I've never written my kids off. But no, you're not allowed to talk about your own children. And if you do, we're going to come after you. What the fuck? And that's exactly what TikTok is doing. Same exact thing. They think they can dictate the script. We're running the script. We've done film for years. You guys believe so many things. We've done this to you before with other current events, and you guys never saw it. You guys never really brought it up. There was a few people, but we silenced those quick. But this time around, it's not working the same way it used to. It's not. People are more awake than ever. Yes, because the Father is pouring forth his Spirit upon his children to allow us to see through the curtain that you think Wizard of Oz you have covering you up, but we can see you behind the curtain. Your time is up. That's the thing, is your time is up, Israel, and you're grasping at straws right now, trying to figure out how you can have power. And the only way you can find power right now is making people feeling convicted that if they go against you, they're going against Elohim. That is blasphemy. That is total blasphemy. I will not stand for it. So in the end of all this, I truly believe TikTok is the whole reason he is not here right now. I don't think he is dead. I think he's being held hostage because they even know, again, if you're a world leader, you know that there are gifted people.
Pause. I don't think he's being held hostage. I believe that he is in that witness protection and Valhalla, like I mentioned. Valhalla is a witness protection, likely refers to a fictional concept of possible secret government facility for the United States, okay, which is called WITSET, okay, Witness Security Program. That's what a lot of people believe, that that's where Charlie Kirk is, and a witness protection, because he even mentioned, Charlie Kirk, that they are trying to kill me. They. So I don't think he's held against his will. But I have a question for you guys, and please drop it in the comment. The question is, what's the motive of faking his death? Because these people believe that he's still alive and this whole thing is staged. So my question to these conspiracy theories, what was the motive of faking his death? That's one. Two, what is the motive of doing all this? You know what I mean? Did Charlie Kirk agree to this? Because if he agreed to this, that's mean he can't see his children. You know what I mean? And Erica Kirk had to play along with this, and Andrew Colbert, and among other people who knows about this. Obviously, a lot of Turning Point employees is not aware of this. Only a few people in the inner circle are aware that Charlie Kirk is still alive. They're saying that he's still alive. And did he agree to this? Did Charlie Kirk agree to this whole thing to be set in motion to protect himself and his family, to find out the real person who was trying to kill him? So that's a question that I'm asking you guys, and hopefully you can drop a comment below.
In these lands that the Father has protected, kind of like the person that's never broken a bone. They just never, I'm one of those people, never broke a bone. Okay, so wow, you're divinely something. Okay, there is divine people amongst us. They can see that within our genetics, from our DNA. When they prick your baby's heel from day one, they already know who we were. Okay, the spiritual ones. They do. How do they know that? I don't know yet fully how, but I know. Because of my life now is just proving to me they knew who I was from day one. Hence why I was studied in freaking Philadelphia for years as a kid. Over what? They said ADHD, kind of autism. No, it was way more than that. It was way more than that. And then all my years, I don't even feel like going over it. That was Charlie Kirk. That was Charlie Kirk. So if we take him out, there might be consequences in the spiritual realm upon us. So let's just put him in solitary confinement. They did this to me. So I have a feeling, I have this weird feeling, because again, they should all, his best friends should be showing emotions if he's actually gone.
I agree. I agree. I know he's a little bit all over the place, Luke, but I have to agree. Just like we all saw that footage of Mikey McCoy just walked and left when Charlie Kirk got shot. Okay, he was on his phone and he left. Again, who does that? He said that that's his best friend, but who does that? If my best friend got shot, I'm not going to be on the phone and take off. I'm going to run to my friend to see what I can do to stop the bleeding. But he didn't do that. That's odd. That is weird behavior. And people say you shouldn't be asking that question. You shouldn't question Mikey McCoy. That's weird, because he said that that's Charlie Kirk is his best friend. They're best friends. He loved Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk got him a job at Turning Point. He owes Charlie Kirk everything. Well, apparently you didn't owe him anything, because look what you did. And you say this is supposed to be your best friend. You just left. You just left. Like nothing happened. He didn't even flinch when the shot got fired. Like, I'm not saying that he knew what was going to happen, but what he did, his action, his behavior, it looks sus to me. It looks very suspect.
They know he's not gone. Hence why I'll see you in Valhalla, brother. Is he in the witness protection program? Did the FBI and did this administration protect our brother because somebody else wanted to do a shady thing to him? Possibly. I don't want to give them that much credit because how weird they're being these last 10 months. but I have to see all perspectives to find the one that's true eventually, or to be more open-minded to maybe find truth. Maybe they protected him. For all we know, maybe they're not for this land, but they're playing, again, they're very good at playing TV too. So if they're playing TV, they're playing TV. Who's doing the better reality TV? I don't know. But we're all living in a freaking reality TV show right now is what we're doing. And they're gaslighting us to make us feel like we're crazy, but yet they're not going after. I don't see the U.S. going after the people that are trying to find the truth. Okay?
See?
I see
exactly.
TikTok going after the people that are trying to find the truth. That
Yes.
makes sense. Because
And
they're the
Candace
ones trying to
Owens
cover up their asses right
on
now.
other people.
But these people are just playing this game because if I open the door right now, a lot more people won't be protected. And this could escalate to a whole different manner because maybe they actually want to come after us of faith. Maybe they're seeing us as evil and the enemy, so they want to eliminate us. But they're not sure if we're right or wrong. So again, spiritually, because even if they don't believe in Elohim, they believe in a universal power of whatever God that is, Baal, whatever it is, okay? So let's not harm the spiritual person because that could cause consequences to us. So let's just keep them captive and let's see what information we can get out of them along the way. Kind of like the Hunger Games movie 3, I think it is, when PETA gets taken into the Capitol and tortured. This keeps coming in my head. I think he's still alive. I really do. So I've kind of now been praying for him and his strength right now. I don't pray for the dead. I know we're not supposed to. I'm very big on that we don't talk to the dead or pray for the dead. So for me to say this right now, it's a big deal because I wouldn't break my own rules, not my own rules, the Father's rules, that I just have a feeling I'm still supposed to be praying for my brother, that needs to be set free, and he doesn't have freedom right now. He's in captivity. Again, the doctors never fully told us he was gone. As much as they said that, those things, it was too many red flags. Okay, in the end, is he gone or is he not gone? Where's the tombstone? Where was the autopsy? Why wasn't anything done the way it was done? Again, it wasn't blown out. He wasn't shattered. It was like a setup to make us think that he was that so we can take him. Remember, there was a trap door right under him, right near there. And when everybody jumped over that table, they all did the job they were supposed to do. It had nothing to do with Charlie saving him. It was get rid of that object, take that away, grab that microphone, take this. You need to make the call immediately. Make it look like you're scared. We see it right now. We see the behind the scenes is what we're seeing right now. So I think he's still alive. I really do. And I don't want to, Father, I'm sorry. I don't want to encourage anybody else to pray for somebody that's dead because we can't. Okay? But I'm going to say on my own terms, not the Father's terms, that I'm going to give grace to everybody and myself because of the what if. What if he is still alive? We need to pray for him. But again, if he is gone, we can't talk to the people. We can't pray for those people. But I just have a feeling we're supposed to pray about him right now.
Okay, so what to make of this, you guys? What to make of what this Luke said? You know what I mean? Like, is Charlie Kirk still alive? Is he really dead? You say he's wrong. Okay, I respect that. But there's a lot of questions that he's been asking that is a legitimate question. You know what I mean? No, we don't know the death certificate. We don't know the biopsy of Charlie Kirk. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate and tell you guys that he's alive. I don't know. I know what I saw. Okay, I saw a man got a bullet in his throat and went back. Okay, and died. Okay. That's what I saw. That's what the whole world saw. Okay, and got rushed in the hospital. But a lot of stuff, what this man is saying, they're legitimate questions to ask. You know what I mean? Why did they investigate that crime scene? Why did they pave that crime scene right away? Why there was no ballistic being done? Okay, a lot of things is just like they were just trying to cover it up so quickly, so fast. You know what I mean? And none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense at all. And until we have proof that he is alive, then I'm definitely not going into that rabbit hole, because I don't want to drive myself crazy or get myself sick. But we know what we saw, and to me, I believe that Charlie Kirk is dead. There's no way. A lot of people saying that he could survive that bullet in his neck. That would be a miracle from God if he did survive, but it's impossible. You know, he did have a pulse when he was rushed into the hospital, and then he flatlined. The surgeons couldn't save him. You know what I mean? So I believe, in my opinion, that he's dead. I don't know if he's alive or not. Again, I like to go by facts and evidence that to present that he's still alive. But there's a lot of possibility, and a lot of people are believing that he's alive. You know what I mean? My thing is, why they haven't buried him yet? 3 months, you guys. 3 months since he got murdered, and his body hasn't been buried. That's just weird to me. I'm sorry, I mentioned it before. That's just weird. Why the body hasn't been buried? Why there's not a cemetery? I don't understand this. You know what I mean? It's just weird. Now, the last video I'm going to show you of Milo, like I mentioned earlier in this video, that he was on Tim Pool's podcast, and then he mentioned about Erica Kirk. You know, you remember that Erica Kirk posted a video on her Instagram of Charlie Kirk in the casket, and then Milo was like mentioned that Charlie Kirk's hand looks different from the hand from the casket when Charlie Kirk was alive. And I'm thinking, you know, when you're dead, you know what I mean? They do was it abotomy or whatever? They clean you up, they put makeup on the dead body and stuff like that. You don't look the same when you are alive. You know what I mean? Like when my grandfather and my grandmother passed away, and I went to an open casket, a wake, and my grandmother didn't look the same. You know what I mean? Because they put makeup and everything. So is it possible that his hands doesn't look the same like he was alive? So I don't know. Like, he's speculating that's not really Charlie Kirk in the casket. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. These people just. I'm not saying they're crazy, because I don't want to say that anyone's crazy, because no one's not crazy. But it just looks. I don't know. Anyway, let you listen to him, what he has to say in his theories about Charlie Kirk casket. So take a listen to what Milo have to say.
His deeply, deeply sinister wife. What?
Oh, hold on. I'm so sorry. Let me remove this. There we go. Sorry. Let's rewind and play. Hold on, you guys. I am so sorry. Oops. What just happened here? So I pressed the wrong button, and now there we go. Sorry, guys. Here we go. See? This is why I need another person to help me. You know, I can't do all of it by myself, but I'm trying to do this by myself. And I feel like I'm doing a good job. What do you think? I think I'm doing a good job handling everything by myself. So let's try this again.
Say nothing of his deeply, deeply sinister wife. What? Erica?
No, he's.
How is she sinister? No, Milo, please educate
Genuine
me.
question. Do you know?
No, hold on. Hold on. Please explain to me, how is Erica Kirk sinister?
Have you seen the difference in the size of her hands with Charlie's in their wedding pictures, and then compared it to him in his casket?
Are you saying she's a man?
No, I'm saying that wasn't Charlie in there.
What are you talking? Come on.
I'm saying there's something. There's something up. There's something up.
So you're saying.
Does he know something that we don't know? Because I heard that Milo is a very smart, intelligent man. But does he know something that we don't? Because now he's saying that that's not Charlie Kirk. Could it be possible someone? I don't know. I don't know what to believe or what to suspect. But he's saying that wasn't Charlie Kirk in that casket.
He's hidden.
I'm not saying he's hidden. I'm not saying he's
but
still alive somewhere. I don't know. But his body hasn't been buried. Did they lose it? It happens.
Do you think there's a possibility that Charlie is alive?
I think it's vanishingly slight. I think it's probably the most.
So you even give it a slight?
Of course, it's possible. And the behavior of some of the Turning Point people makes me wonder. I tweeted today for
another person said that. Let me pause. I'm sorry. I'll keep pausing. Another person said that. Turning Point's behavior, Eric Kirk's behavior, a lot of people's behaviors doesn't seem right, because they believe that Charlie Kirk is still alive. And again, when people are dead, we all know when someone passed away that people grieve. Obviously, people grieve differently, but people don't act like that person is still alive. Does that make sense? Unless they're just in their own denial and they don't believe that person is gone. I don't know. But this is the fourth person that said that of Turning Point employees.
First time ever. I didn't name him, but just thinking aloud, do you think he's still alive?
But you think there's a possibility they faked his death?
Yes.
But then why wouldn't Candace say something more to that degree?
It's probably the most difficult thing to prove.
And so
Exactly.
why won't Candace call out Erica?
She has.
Exactly. It's the most difficult thing to prove. You know, people can have the conspiracy theories, people can speculate, but that's a hard thing to prove, especially if it's run by the government. You know, it's not like the government is going to hand out breadcrumbs to us, to the public, that, hey, by the way, Charlie Kirk is alive. You know, we staged his death for his own protection. They're not going to do that. You know what I mean? That's hard to prove. You know what I mean? And I don't know what to believe. You know, obviously, we're just going to wait and see of more investigation of the assassination of Charlie Kirk and find out who was involved in this. You know, I believe that our government is involved in this. Israel is involved in this. Definitely not the Egyptian planes. Okay, not 2 of them, 4 of them. You know, I believe multiple people were involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk, some employees from Turning Point. And I don't understand why people don't believe that, why people don't even suspect that it might be some of the people in Turning Point. You can't say these are your family when there might be suspects around you and you're not aware. You know what I mean? I just feel like, just in my opinion, and again, it's just being respectful, I feel like Erica Kirk is being played. She's very naive. She's very trustworthy. And when a woman's going through grief and she's a widow, people can feed off of that and take advantage of that. Take your kindness for weakness, okay? And I'm not saying that Erica is dumb, but I just feel like she's very naive and she's not seeing the bigger picture, especially some of the employees around her. You know what I mean? And I just don't understand why she doesn't suspect that people from the Turning Point employees may be involved because of money. Money, that's where it all leads to. Money. Follow the money. I don't understand. When you're involved, you worry about yourself, not the victims. Their action looked like self-preservation to me. I agree with you. I agree. And I just don't understand why people don't follow the money. Follow the money. If you follow the money, then you will find out more investigations, more clues about someone that was dirty in a Turning Point. Because there's someone dirty. And they don't want to reveal that. They don't want to uncover that. They just got their guy and that's it. Can you imagine once trial starts? I know that a primary is going to start in May, but just can you imagine once the trial starts for Tyler Robinson, because he didn't confess, that they just say not guilty. And he walks unless they try to kill him. Because where's Lance? Where's the boyfriend? Nowhere to be found. They didn't even talk about him. They don't even mention him. We don't know if he's dead or alive or in a witness protection. No one has not mentioned him. He's just crickets. Crickets. Okay? It's going to be hard for them to find a juror that's not going to be biased or unbiased, because all this non-evidence, even though they said they have evidence, which they have nothing. But anyway, you guys, I don't want to keep you. Thank you so much for joining in and commenting and letting me know your thoughts and your opinions about this. Let me know what you think about this video. And I just have to say, I don't think Charlie Kirk is alive, but it may be a possibility, but I don't think so. But we just got to wait and see more investigation of the murder of Charlie Kirk. But let me know what you think about all of this that I just said and just discussed. Have a Merry Christmas, everyone. Stay safe. God bless you. And I love you all. And thank you so much for supporting me and supporting this channel as well. Love you. Take care and God bless.